We didn't make Gen Con, but these are the top games we're excited coming out of it. I'm Devin.
And I'm Paul.
And we're Dads and Dice, and today we are talking about our top 5 games that we're excited that were at Gen Con, even though we weren't there. So I'm going to start off the list with my number 5 game, and that is Sand by Devere. Honestly,
Nice.
One I don't really know much about, but I think it just looks sweet. Really cool little board presence. I believe it is like a pick-up, drop-off, gather resources, fulfill contracts type of game. It has a board that almost reminds me of the Orleans with a ton of different tracks and places that kind of go, and honestly really busy, but I kind of like it. And then the kind of dual-layered player boards that I'm assuming you're keeping track of resources. There's a lot going on there. Truthfully, I haven't really dug deep into, but it's just a lot of stuff that interests me just kind of off table presence alone.
Yeah, Devere has really put out some bangers lately, and this is going to be in their same kind of small box, big game kind of stuff. This is one that I'm actually really excited about too. Unfortunately, it did not make my list. It's probably like number 6. But yeah, it's a pick up and deliver type game. You've got your dice that you roll, kind of like the White Castle, that kind of determines your actions and stuff like that, at least from what I think I know about the game. But solid pick there. My number 5 game is a Devere game as well, and this game is called Cities. So Cities is a city building game in which you have different kind of tiles, and with these tiles you're going to be kind of placing them out. Those tiles represent different cities or parts of cities, like the waters, parks, all that kind of stuff. And then whenever you complete some type of achievement, you have a little token and you put it on there. And then at the end of the game, it's just whoever's done the most achievements kind of wins the game. So it's another Devere small box game. This one is definitely a lot lighter. I believe on BGG it's sitting at like 1.92, somewhere in there. So it's a pretty easy one. Plays in about 40-45 minutes, but excited to play Cities.
All right, that was our number 5s. Let's do our number 4s. All right, so for my number 4 game, it's going to have to be SETI. SETI is, I think it's Search for
Extraterrestrial.
For terrestrial intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah.
Something like that.
Ooh, another game I'm excited about.
Yeah, and truthfully don't know anything about this game. I think it's a card-driven game, I think, where that's going to basically dictate your kind of actions. Not 100% on that, but I do know it's got like a round solar system thing on there. Honestly, another one that I think just looks really cool, and I'm excited to try out. However, this one was not one that is officially on sale yet, but I think it's supposed to be here in a couple months. It's in there Q4, so we're pretty close there.
For my number 4, again, another easier, lighter game. This is Foundations of Metropolis. So this is Arcane Wonders published this one, and it is kind of their, I don't want to say it's the reprint, but it's their second edition in a way of Foundations of Rome, right? The gigantic box that is thoroughly overproduced. It's got those minis, and honestly, it priced tons of people out, right? It's a very basic game that a lot of people couldn't play just because it was so it was just overly produced. So this one, they've just kind of stripped it all down. They've added a couple of different mechanics here and there. It's just got your basic cardboard polyomino pieces, and the gameplay is pretty much the same. You are going to be buying out little plot spaces and then kind of claiming them on your thing. Whenever you have the shape you want, you put your building on there, collecting income, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most, I want to say it's money, is going to be the winner.
Okay, that was our number 4s. Let's do our number 3s. All right, my number 3 game is Pampero.
Okay.
Another one I only know a little bit about. It's a Euro game. It is about building wind power generators and whatnot. Another one, if Cities is like that, it is hand management, kind of that dictates card selection, dictates your actions. That's really all I know about it, but it's got a lot of hype, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, the only thing I know about this one, it's set in Uruguay. and that's where all the wind farms are.
I don't even know where that is.
So with that being said, it's supposed to be pretty thematic. It's supposed to integrate all that kind of stuff, and seems like a really interesting one. I know it's a pretty heavy game, and I think that you would absolutely love that one. All right, for my number 3 game, we have Rock Hard 1977, another game by DeVere Games. They're just pushing out all of these great small box games. This one is actually designed by an actual rock star. She was in a rock band in the 70s, kind of done all sorts of stuff. But in this game, she's kind of focusing on that rock star lifestyle. And throughout the game, you're trying to gain fame. And in order to do that, you are putting out hits, you're playing concerts. I'm not sure if you are, but I'm sure you're selling some type of merch or something, right? So the game is played over 9 rounds, and those rounds are just your different months that you're going to be playing those shows. And so you're just going to be trying to gain that fame. Honestly, you can see I've got my bass guitars here. Music has just been something that I've always been interested in. And to have a game actually designed by a musician, that theme should integrate in there fairly well. So I'm excited to try that one.
Okay, let's get over to our number 2s. All right, so for my number 2 game, it's actually not a game, it's an expansion, and that is Gaia Project: The Lost Fleet. Gaia Project, top game for me. So of course I'm going to enjoy more factions, more. They do some sort of mechanic now where instead of certain actions that you just kind of take, there are these fleets out on the board, so you go out and discover them. Honestly, again, I've said this with a lot of them. I don't really know too much about it, but I know Gaia Project, so I know I'm excited for a couple new factions, a couple, I think 2 new planet types as well. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, for my number 2, also an expansion. This is the expansion for Barcelona. This is Passage de Gracia, I think is what it is. Anyway, so in this expansion, really what it's doing is it's adding another board onto there, and it's this street, right? So in Barcelona, you're building up the city, you're building up those buildings, you're building up on the church. So here you have this street, and on this street there's just different types of building types. I believe there's like coffee shops and normal shops and stuff like that. So again, I'm not 100% sure, like Devin's been saying, exactly what's on there, but I do know it's just going to add some more space onto the board, or add another board on there, a couple different tokens, and I'm sure just different ways to add more points to all the points you're already getting in Barcelona.
Yeah, absolutely. Barcelona is a killer game, so I'm excited that they're expanding it because it's one I just like.
Mm-hmm.
That was number 2s. Let's see our number 1s. Okay, my number 1 most excited game from GenCon, Windmill Valley. Just talked about Barcelona, Danny Garcia. Dude is knocking it out of the park with his games. I think Windmill Valley is no exception. This is one I know a little bit more about. Actually, I don't know where it's set. Somewhere. But you're trying to collect tulips. I think it's tulips. It's flowers, right? And basically you're trying to fill up sets, fill up complete rows, and it has this really neat kind of wheel turning mechanic where you kind of have basic actions on there, but you can upgrade kind of your wheels, and so they get stronger, but it's also your timer for the game. So you kind of have to balance out, do I want to fly by and get, my really powerful actions, or do I want to kind of do several throughout the time? I think the game looks completely fantastic, and I cannot wait to try it myself.
Yeah, funny enough, my number 1 game, Windmill Valley as well. It is just one that has caught my eye. Just the artwork on it, the color, like it reminds me a ton of Barcelona. Just, we mentioned the same designer, but for it being such a heavy Euro, it's got such an amazing table presence, right? You've got those gears, kind of like in Sulkin, where they're just going to spin. They're functional, right? They actually do something to the game. It's got kind of that mechanic, like you mentioned, do you want to rush through it like in Barrage, right? Like you can push them real quick and then get back to them, or do you want to kind of slow play it? So it's got all these elements of different games that we've really enjoyed. And then on top of that, like I mentioned, just the artwork is stunning, the color, the presentation, just everything about it. I can't wait to get that one to the table.
All right, so that was our top 5 games from Gen Con. Please comment below what you really like from Gen Con. If you were there, let us know. What did you pick up? What did you buy? What are you making us jealous of? Please, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help us, help our channel grow. See you on the next one.
Thank you. Okay, we'll come get you in a little bit, okay?